I think the ability for Olaf with an Ashe Lulu in his back pocket and a gold card, I mean, this could be a Junja game. Because the Lulu empowering your jungler, especially in Olaf, I mean, Olaf really takes advantage of this. Yeah, that's going to be a pretty nice start here, as Junja doesn't look like he can fight Shun.
He has that Conqueror
hold on.
but again, Junja
Vampire's
on
here,
Olaf,
Vampire's
gonna get
here.
stronger as the health is lower. Vampire's here,
Great
pops the
flash.
heal, pops the shield. Junja nearly goes down, but it will be Shun to pick up first blood for Bilibili Gaming. They're gonna get a second on the Vampire as well. Knight gets the final kill credit, and BLG are off and running in game 3.
The game. Kind of expect to see a 530 Drake in their hands, so executed by BLG to make sure this goes in their favor.
Looks like this Mel pick was pretty telegraphed in terms of Knight knew that this was going to happen at some point, and he had the pick prepared. That's the benefit of being able to play less games.
Denying the gold cards and maybe some of the mid-jungle ganks that you look for when you have a TF on your team to attack his own lane with the free gank setup he gets. That's denied, but also kind of a low-range comp. And
Root.
that's a root.
That's going to be it on to Honkyu. No flash still on that Twisted Fate, and Shun finds a great opportunity to get kill number 3.
So, if anything, expecting to see him look for Raps.
Ultimate used here by Bin perfectly alongside the ulti forward from Shun. That was just very greedy from Xiaoshu, and now JDG are going to try to respond here in the mid lane. Knight does have his flash burn, but it comes at the cost of the Ragnarok and most likely the Grubs.
That last full clear, and that kind of makes sense if you have Junja on Gromp, that Shun could be elsewhere. So I feel like that was well played by Bin and Shun to get the kill top, but also Xiaoshu kind of played into it on a timer where it wasn't necessary, or he should be thinking about playing around that play coming in. Because Honkyu can't help out.
Now going to start this dragon up. Ron has eyes on it. Destiny has been popped just to make sure that JDG know exactly where the opposition is, but Shun now going to jump over the wall. Potentially creating another 50-50. Encore going to be matched, but Gala cleanses it. Going to be the dragon secured by a JDG. In goes the rest of the fight, and Junja starting to pop off with the wild growth. Gets one before eventually dropping. Bullet time coming out from Viper at 1 HP. Will be enough to take Gala down. And Knight shuts down Honkyu on the backside as well.
And that when he Ragnaroks, he's going to be strong in that window. Speaking of which, Knight going to be the focus here.
Window could be opened here, but Knight just clears the entire of the way. They're going to go for it anyway because I guess they have to. Reflect going to be used perfectly, and in goes the Golden Eclipse to make it a 1-for-1. Honkyu stood for a little bit too long underneath the turret. Nearly would have gone down with one more turret shot, but Knight's able to make it a 1-for-1 for now, but Shun jumps forward to make it an advantageous fight for BLG. From on, the Mikhail's perfectly timed to make sure he does not lose any mobility on his way underneath his own turret. JDG feel like they can't waste this opportunity, so they're starting up the Rift Herald, but BLG certainly want to fight this. Root lands onto 2, able to do a ton to try and stall out JD Gaming. The teleport comes in from Bin, and the Rift Herald will now be started up by BLG.
Again, look to see who Vampire's empowering. I think giving Whimsy to Honkyu makes a lot of sense for me. Just speeding up that gold card coming in.
Chunked. Bin tickled at the most by the entirety of the damage of Honkyu. In goes Junja with the Ragnarok, doing a ton of damage, but will not drop just yet. Able to get away with the Blast Cone is on, and Shun takes him down. Xiaoshu with the Counter-Strike, able to escape, but 2 more go the way of BLG.
I just feel like JDG are signing up for losing fights, and I'm a bit curious they're going for it now, because I kind of like the scaling of JDG in this game. Like, you have a Lulu. I can see empowering this Olaf, how Olaf can really function in the draft, and where damage could run out for BLG later on, but we're running into the meat grinder right now.
And they're looking to grow that now towards the bot lane tier 1. There's 3 members of JDG here to try to defend, but 4 is bigger than 3, and that's how many BLG send to take this one.
I mean, coming into the day, we really felt like, you know, BLG, they were the favorites coming in. But JDG had a hard road. Felt like that could have maybe been the bot phase on.
Another great Mikhail's, but this time it's not going to matter. Junja finally getting onto the board. Wild growth on top of him as he's found Knight in melee range. That's going to be a shutdown. And Junja with a double kill. Able to get JDG back in the winner's circle for now. Bin goes forward with that unstoppable onslaught, but is unable to find a knockup. Junja no longer has the Ragnarok, but still has some damage, and Gala's been untouched with the Ranger's focus. Bullet time is flashed away from, as everybody from JDG will go in, take Bin down. He flashes away at 100 HP. The red buff not going to do it either, but a big win for JDG to get them back into the game.
And man, just as I was setting up BLG for taking over JDG, the one thing they got in that last fight, yes, we were questioning why they took it. It was a loss. We were crediting how well On played his way out of that one, but On used his tools around the Rift Herald. It was a beautiful McAllister from him this time around, but that was the only tool he had to escape. Pick their big linchpins for each team's composition. As Herald drop, BLG will take the mid-inner turret for themselves.
You're talking about great 80. It's a luxury that you get by stealing one of those dragons away earlier. Get the opportunity to maybe opt only for a fight you really want. But looks like BLG want to fight instead of going for the Drake, but in goes Junja once again. He's empowered. He shuts down Viper, but he will go down in a trade. Teleport has come in, and Zhao Shu now arriving to the fight. Shun is exhausted, but it will be Knight going golden, and Zhao Shu jumps on top of him, taking the Mel down. Double counter-strike, and Zhao Shu carries JDG to a team fight win in the bottom lane. Only Bin remains, but he won't for much longer. A double kill in for Gala, and it's a clean ace for JD.
Junja's Olaf is breaking this game, and BLG do not have an answer to it. I think Knight might have misclicked the Seekers, too, on that one, which helped him fall. But, again, this Jax luxury item starting to come in. Zanya's, that takes away even more ways for BLG to try and play and wombo their way into JDG.
So now the Dragon going to be the focus, but that might not even happen until Shun goes down. He forced the use of the Unbreakable, and now here goes Junja again with the Ragnarok. Hankyu going very far forward, but it's going to be able to take down Knight. Zhao Shu not able to land a stun with the counter-strike.
Yeah, only saving grace for me is that there's no Ragnarok available. So if you can find Olaf, it's a maybe, but that's it for BLG, and it's going to be hard. They're down numbers.
Shun's had a lot of objectives stolen from him. He's going to have to do it again, but no, that just gets bursted down too quickly. Chemtech Soul for JD Gaming. We didn't even think it had enough time for that to be bursted all the way through. Hankyu hunting with a gold card. Finds On, but nothing more. As Shun is looking to dash forward, and Knight has respawned and teleported back to the mid lane. In goes Zhao Shu. Counter-strike onto Viper. Not enough to take him down just yet, though, but Gala's looking unlocked. Junja already picking up one. A second onto Shun. And JD Gaming reigning supreme once again. ECA onto Knight. He flashes away, not going to go down, but it should be enough for JD to go to the Baron Nashor.
I think Bin just took the train out of the country. He tried to TP back in, but all of his friends were gone while he was missing. And JDG, this has been kind of a wild, chaotic game, Grapes, but it feels like off of one dragon fight that they forced and lost, turned on by JDG, they're looking to close out this game. I think they're going to do so pretty damn easily with a Chemsoul Olaf, Grapes. And this is going to be a 2-1 JDG lead. Late tech, maybe. Yeah, maybe Riftmaker into Dusk of Dawn to wrap things up here. Maybe just the damage amp into the Scion, pretty good. Health stacker.
Oh, knock up on the Gala. Junja's about half HP. This could be an opportunity for BLG to go in, but the Ragnarok's already been popped, and Junja will remain invulnerable for now. Charm going to land on a 2. Zhao Shu has been targeted. Gala flashing away from the bullet time. The Jax is very low. Taken down by the Golden Eclipse, and Knight has found his moment. Dash forward from Shun, takes Gala down, and now BLG are the ones on the comeback train. Junja is able to escape for now, but BLG now have a numbers advantage for the next 45 seconds.
BLG were able to stall out, like they forced out Ragnarok, then they stalled out the Ragnarok, they waited for it to expire, and it was a really good turn. Look at some of the itemization. Okay, no, sorry, there's a direct set.
It is protecting us from seeing the items.
Yes, thank you for making the joke they want to make, Grapes. Hankyu goes in.
On. Yeah, cleanses away from the arrow again, but not going to be able to match the might of Junja. Already 1 kill for nothing. The Ragnarok still unlocked. Takes down at least one player here. Bin, he goes forward with the ultimate. That was a ill-mattered attempt by Bin on the Scion. He will go down. 2 kills for free into the hands of JD Gaming. They're going to look for more. Zhao Shu jumps forward. Another multi-man counter-strike, and Knight is going golden, but waiting for his eventual demise. Viper on the run, but he's not going to be able to run much farther from Zhao Shu, who has carried this game on the Jax. JDG from the brink will come all the way back and will take a 2-1 series lead over Bilibili.
And Grapes, of all the setup that we had coming into this series. We'd spent so much time talking about.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.